day, everyone, and welcome back to my show. My name is Zainab, and with me today, I have Mayegun in the studio, and I also have Comrade who are going to be doing some explanation for me on today's Explain This show. So, Mayegun, can you introduce yourself again, please?
Thanks for having me again, Zainab. This is Mayegu General, that guy, as I love to always say. So it's been a pleasure back again, having something to explain. Now with
So, Comrade
Osage.
Losin Ulosage.
Thank you so much, Zainab, and good afternoon, everybody. And my name is Comrade Lawson Ulosagi, and I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you, you're welcome. So, Comrade Losin Ulosage, my first question goes to you. What can you say about the 6 Nigerians that were convicted in United Arab Emirates for funding the Boko Haram terrorists?
Um, One thing I would say first, all thanks to the Arab Emirates, United Arab Emirates, because it had felt like the sponsors of the Boko Haram are spiritual, because in the last 10 or 12 years, the Boko Haram have been terrorizing Nigeria. CBN has never said anything about it. We have some of the best intelligence according to the Nigerian government. They did not say anything about it, but at least it's a good thing that we're now seeing that there are few Northerners who are actually sponsoring this terrorists in Nigeria. And the funniest part is one of the governors even lobbying to get them released. So I would say thank you to the United Arab Emirates for revealing those people to the world.
Yeah, yeah. So, Mayegun, do you think like there is any maybe because they have been convicted since 2019 and we are just knowing now into 2020? What do you think? Do you think there's any like something behind that?
Well, I wouldn't put it that way. Okay, the exposure, all over the world, the whole world. It's only in Nigeria where we negotiate with terrorists. Okay, so the rest of the world, they hunt them down. So we know before Buhari came to power, we had some terrorists, some Boko Haram campaigners who were arrested. I remember the bombers of the Catholic Church in Maraba in Abuja. So I remember Kabiru Shokoto. These are people who were arrested for committing terrorism in Nigeria. But when Buhari came in, we were expecting them to help us expose the sponsors, the financiers of Boko Haram in Nigeria. Like my big brother, yes, just mentioned. We never had those reports from the intelligence reports in Nigeria. The agency in Nigeria who were supposed to track crime before they happen, we call them the SSS. So for 5 years, let's base down 5 years. 2015, these guys were arrested in Dubai in collaboration with those who were in charge of Nigerian security at the time. So they got arrested in Dubai. And in fact, from the report we had, they would have been extradited to Nigeria for trial. But because of the change in government at the time, and I'm glad they did it, by the way, because they would have been released. Kabiru Shokoto has been released in Nigeria. And since then, we've never had anybody arrested, tried for anything terrorism in Nigeria. So, yes, it's a great thing that this happened. And we hope that if Nigeria genuinely had been probing the sponsors of Boko Haram, this guy spent almost $1 million to Nigeria through our banking system, and nobody could trace that. Dubai was able to do that, right? Because they have a working system. And I hope, I'm not hoping, let me just be honest, right? Because we know how the system works in Nigeria. But I wish that Nigeria government dedicates more time or show more interest in curbing and preventing terrorism in Nigeria genuinely, like they are hunting down NSAS protesters right now.
Do you think they should be brought back to Nigeria and be convicted in Nigeria? Because now the Senate are requesting the prosecutions of these people.
Is that for me to answer? There is no way they are bringing them to Nigeria. Forget it. Those guys were tried under the United Arab Emirates law. They were tried under the international law that, because this is transnational crime now. They were based in Dubai, and they were transferring money to Nigeria to perpetrate crime. So they have been tried in Dubai. They are going to serve their life sentences in Dubai. Yes, they were convicted last year. They were found guilty last year, but they weren't convicted. So it's not like our own law, whereby when they find you guilty, they find you guilty, and all of that. So conviction or judgment is just what was delivered just now, and they will spend the rest of their lives in jail. Meanwhile, even under the United Arab Emirates law, they still have right to appeal, but they won't win. Forget it. Maybe the ones that are supposed to spend life in prison will still spend life in prison, but they may I don't know if the parole law works there. I don't know, but they should just rot there. Who wants them back in Nigeria? If they get to Nigeria, they will be freed. They will be celebrated because they will be repentant. And once you repent, Nigeria will save you and will reward you too. Nigeria reward bad behavior. And if we have any reasonable country doing the job for us, great. It is in Nigeria where CBN cannot trace the bank account of those who stole money in Nigeria, right? They cannot trace the account of those who are doing illicit business in Nigeria, including the criminal politicians. But look at how long it took the Dubai police to track down Hush Puppy. It took them just about 6 months. They were watching him until they got him, and when they got him, it was easier for them to hand him over to the American authority. So we shouldn't be looking for the Senate. Everybody saying anything in Nigeria. They're just the usual criminal organization that are currently taking over Nigeria. So they will want terrorists to come back so that they can rehabilitate them. They rehabilitate terrorists and they hunt down activists. That's the sad situation we are in.
So, Comrade Losino Lusage, do you think DJ Switch moving to Canada and claiming asylum in Canada is the right choice? And besides, she didn't make that a secret. Everyone in Nigeria now knows that she's claiming asylum in Canada. Do you think it should have been kept a secret?
In the first place, there shouldn't be any reason for any citizen to run out of their country to go seek asylum anywhere. Okay? Particularly in a democratic dispensation, there should be zero reason for anybody to run away from the country or be scared of their life. At the worst, you can be sued. You go to the court, defend yourself, and if you find guilty, you serve your time. But that is not the case in Nigeria. The first thing is let's see what is the reason why she had to run for her life. Okay, the young lady who has done great by exposing the crime of the SSA, what do you want to call it, the Nigerian army and the police that came to kill innocent citizens, allegedly. Okay, if we want to, if they have every right to say that it was a lie, because we can see a lot of the cops. According to her, the corpses were all taken away, but it was a live stream. If she had not done that, if she was not courageous enough to show the crime these people were committing on site,
right,
today she might have been dead. Okay, they found out in a way that this thing was actually being streamed. That was one of the things that really cautioned them. So if she hadn't gone to Canada to seek asylum, I want to speak to the Canadian government directly today. If you have not granted DJ Switch asylum, please grant her, because her life is in danger. There is no way you work against the Nigerian government for any reason, particularly exposing their crime as heinous as taking the life of innocent citizens who are protesting for their rights. Because those young men and young women of my age, people younger, even up to little kids, even grandparents were there. They were not rioters. They were demanding for rights to live in peace, a right to live in their own country. That is what they were demanding for. And the Nigerian army, with taxpayers' money, shot at these people and killed them. So if you have any reason to be delaying the switch asylum process, please grant it to her, because she actually needs it.
Do you think if she had kept it a secret, it would have been better for her? Because people are saying nobody should know about this?
Our
Because
secrets, there is no law of secrecy in anything asylum. If you're seeking asylum, you are seeking asylum is because your life is in danger.
danger, right?
And even the country you are seeking the asylum from, or where you're seeking the asylum, they need some proof. They need some documentation, maybe national dailies from your country.
Right.
They need, newspaper publications. They need even, they have these things are live. So they are not doing it in secret. And what is your name? Can you just tell us your case? No.
Yeah.
They want evidence.
Evidence.
And the truth is, her life is actually in danger. I don't know her. I've never met her. Okay, but the truth is, her life is in danger.
Yeah.
So there's no crime in her making it public. It even helped the government to see, the Canadian government to see that this girl actually needs help, because there are hundreds of Nigerians who are crying and begging for her to get that asylum in that country.
Right. So the Central Bank of Nigeria are accusing the NSAS campaigners and NSAS promoters of being a terrorist in Nigeria. What can you say about that? Because we all know who the terrorists are in Nigeria. What can you say about it?
According to, during your introduction question or your first question, you asked me about the Dubai, the Arab Emirates and their sentencing or trial of the Boko Haram sponsors in their country. The CBN, in its own wisdom, in the last 12 years, did not find one single sponsor of Boko Haram. Boko Haram, how could Boko Haram be operating in Nigeria since the inception of Boko Haram, and no single sponsor has been traced? All the weaponry, everything they do, all the operations cost money. Okay, they're not. I don't think they will be using any foreign banks. Even the good thing is, the investigation in Dubai now revealed to us that some money were being sent from that very country to Nigeria through CBN, the same central bank. But those money did not get captured by CBN. Then innocent citizens who are protesting for their rights. Look at those people on the streets. They're all graduates who have left university many years ago, and most of them could not get a job. Okay? So how do you call them terrorists?
Yeah. People
asking for their own rights to live in peace in their own country, you want to label them terrorists? We must be slipping to something that's called anarchy, or I don't know what to call it. It's dictatorship. That is what Nigerians actually slipping into. Because even in the days of Abacha, it did not get as bad as this. Of course, I could remember when Abacha came, used a lot of this style to come into the University of Ibadan to try and arrest some students. They never came in their uniform. They never seized any students' finances or source of income.
Yeah.
Okay, they could come arrest you when you are protesting or use tear gas to disperse everybody. But CBN going in,
they are also freezing accounts of NSAS promoters.
Yeah, but by CBN, it's funny.
Yeah.
Because CBN is not supposed to be a police organization, it's a monetary organization, for God's sake. So what are they doing seizing people's money? Okay, so but if they have had antecedents, if they have had any history where they've been doing this, they've been working against terrorism. Because Boko Haram has been in Nigeria for the last 12 years. If CBN have been exposing terrorist money, then we'll say, okay, wow, these people are working. But how on earth do you just spring up and you say a law was passed so that you can be able to use some kind of draconian kind of system to seize civilians' money? It's uncalled for.
Yeah. Maigun, what do you have to say about that?
Well, as they say, thank you, by the way, for that expository there, sir. As they say, you cannot shame the shameless.
Right.
People who are shameless, you cannot go about and say, I'm going to shame you with this. There is no law that Nigeria can go to anymore that will surprise people like us. The Central Bank of Nigeria, led by Emefiele, happened to be the cesspool of what is wrong with Nigeria to start with. When Buhari came to power, he accused Dasuki of stealing $2 billion meant for Boko Haram's weapon to buy weapons for the Nigerian army. It was a lie. But what they didn't tell people then was that when Dasuki was arrested for stealing or looting the $2 billion meant for arms procurement, what they didn't tell you was the account where Dasuki was making those withdrawals was domiciled in the Central Bank of Nigeria. And who is the governor of the Central Bank at the time? Godwin Emefiele, the same guy. So when Buhari came in, arrested Dasuki because of the money traced into the bank account of so many other PDP members, including non-PDP members at the time, Emefiele was retained. He was not arrested. For all the money that Goodluck Jonathan said they spent fighting Boko Haram, it was Emefiele CBN that was releasing those money. When they now declared that the money were missing or stolen, including the 2.2 billion naira they paid for prayers to end Boko Haram, there's a man called Bafarawa, a former governor, who also collected about 5.6 billion naira to pray. He gathered prayer warriors all over the country to pray for the end of Boko Haram. All this money passed through the CBN. Our own Baba, Olufalaye, they gave him also about 2 billion naira. When Baba collected money, they said, Baba, take this money for Jonathan's second term. When Baba got back to Ondo, he declared 1 billion, kept 1 billion. When EFCC came and arrested people who collected part of the 1 billion, they said, Baba, how much? They gave you 2 billion. Baba said, yes, I kept 1 billion. It was when they came to arrest him that he confessed that, why am I telling you all of this? All this big money meant for security in Nigeria, to end terrorism in Nigeria, were shared through the CBN. Part of the money that was moved for Fayoshe's election in Ekiti was also moved through the CBN, where Obanekoro, the former state minister for defense under Goodluck Jonathan, Musili Obanekoro, moved the money in a chartered plane, cash, to Ondo State, then transits the money through another truck, few trucks, to Ekiti State. It was also part of the money meant for the security. So Emefiele was kept for a reason. He is a very, very good guy when it comes to looting. Last year, a video, in fact, an audio phone call between Emefiele and other members of the governing board of CBN came out, became public, a scandal, where Emefiele stole 500 billion naira that he couldn't account for. And they were looking for ways to bring it into the abridged audit of CBN the following year. So who is investigating who? So if you want to ask yourself, why is CBN unable to find traces of money laundering meant for Boko Haram, who is going to investigate who with all these examples I gave you?
Yeah.
They kidnapped Dapchi girls, over 100 girls in Dapchi in Yobe State in 2017 rather. When Laya Mohammed came out and said, we had no agreement with the Boko Haram to kidnap girls anymore after the Chibok girls kidnapped. He said that, but people didn't pick that. They were not supposed to, in quote, like Mohammed said, they are not supposed to pick school, to kidnap school girls anymore. But they did. What they didn't tell you, or what they came out to deny, was that before they returned those girls back to Dapchi in Yobe State and kept Leah Sharibu, which happened to be the girl that was never returned, Nigerian government paid 13.5 million euros to Boko Haram and ensured that some of the fighters that were kept in their custody at the time were released as a prisoner swap to release the Dapchi girls. 13.5 million euros was transferred to the Boko Haram members. Who would have traced that? Who made that money available? Who are those who did the negotiation? Go into that details. You will find out that those who are sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria are no other people than the Central Bank of Nigeria, who is financing that. It takes its order from all those people in there. When Dasuki was arrested and prosecuted, or was being prosecuted for the Boko Haram funding or non-funding of Boko Haram war, Buratai the Butcher, who happened to be the chief of army staff of Nigeria, Do you know what he did? He was the guy who actually endorsed the itinerary. He booked it. He was the itinerary officer for Nigerian Army. He signed it that Nigerian Goodluck Jonathan bought all the weapons, delivered, and he took stock of them because it was his job to tell which weapon Nigeria has and where, which one they just bought, which one they've used, to who, given to. That was his job during Jonathan's tenure. And Dasuki was national security advisor to Jonathan. So what happened after? When Dasuki was arrested, Buratai was promoted. 2 years after Buratai became chief of army staff of Nigeria, there was a revelation that he bought 2 properties for his own family, 2 wives in Dubai, 2 properties in Dubai. He was a military officer, for goodness sake. But he could afford to buy multi-million dollar properties abroad because he gained from the scandal. When Buratai was questioned, do you know who responded on behalf of Buratai? The presidency of Nigeria, not Buratai. Presidency responded and he said, Buratai is a rich snake venom merchant. He has a snake farm and he's exporting snake venom. For goodness me. Who do you think processed all those money for them? The CBN. When they wrecked Nigeria economy in 2016 and they did this back trading, what they call round tripping, dollar round tripping, whereby people were getting what I can go on and on and on. Okay,
Right.
For you to know that whatever thing you are trying to find answers to, stop looking. You have people who have taken over. We have strangers who have taken over the country. They are strangers with strange policies and strange government. They reward terrorism and they punish those who ask them to stop terrorism.
Yeah.
Think about that. If you are speaking anything out right now against them, you are a terrorist. I am a terrorist in Nigeria context right now.
Yeah, by the definition.
By their definition, and it's done by the government, not by the law. The law didn't call me a terrorist.
No.
The law says I can talk. The law says if I see anything that offends you, you take me to court.
Yeah.
It's a simple thing. If I see anything that causes any harm, there is law that punishes me. That is there. But they won't use that. That takes time. They need one that will dehumanize me, that will criminalize me, that will make everybody, or more or less ostracize me, that will push me and make me become someone everybody needs to run away from. That is what the government is doing. It is called gaslighting. When you speak your mind, they gaslight you. Oh, look at him. Listen to what he just said now. Oh, he's trying to cause a trouble. He's trying to get people killed. But people are being killed still. People are being sent to IDP camps. Villages are being ransacked every now and then. The government is criminalizing those who are asking them to do the right thing. What answer are you looking for? Why are you're asking why from people who are perpetuating it? They froze all the accounts of these people, criminalize them. They are not. See, the same terrorists they are talking about. Emefiele sat in a Zoom meeting with them. Dangote was in a Zoom meeting with them.
Yeah.
The Jimovia. All these guys were in Zoom meeting with these terrorists. They are now freezing their account. They were trying to bribe them. When they couldn't do that, they came back. And they even did it in so much illegal way that they froze the account 2 weeks ago. And only about 5 days ago, the CBN decided to approach court to take a court order for something they've taken 2 weeks ago. Right? And CBN, it now came out that CBN approached the court, not the court. They approached the judge who was sitting down in his own house, and they said, we need to freeze this account because we are tracing them to terrorism. For goodness me, all the money in those accounts, they are not up to $100,000. Guys were convicted of transferring nearly $1 million through the same CBN banking system in Nigeria, and you are asking why? That is your answer. Because they are the terrorists.
I mean, the most appalling part of it is that this can only remind you of nothing but dictatorship. Okay, I don't want to say we've been fortunate to live through the period of dictatorship in Nigeria. It was an unfortunate experience, but of course it was part of our life. Okay, between 1979 or 1979 when OBJ came in and rigmarolled until they managed to give it to what's his name, Alhaji Shehu Shagari, and Shagari did his term, and this same man removed Shehu Shagari in that year.
Yeah.
And when they removed Shehu Shagari, by military dictatorship came to Nigeria through him. Okay? And Nigerians actually suffered throughout this period, and we managed to go through every process until democracy came. You would think that now that we're in a democracy, if anything is happening, you just go to court, sort it out in the court, and get things resolved. Okay? With all these things Mayegun has talked about now, which is not just Mayegun talking about them, they're out there in the dailies, they're out there online. You can find them everywhere, just in the domain. You can just go on Google, type all those informations. If you can pick any one of it, put it, search for it, you'll find them. Okay? So with all these things he has spoken about, I have not heard of one of those sponsors that their account was seized. Not one of them.
Because they are the sponsors.
Okay? Not single one of them have been seized. No single one of those people that, sponsored Kabir or whatever they call that guy who bombed Catholic Church in Abuja, none of his account has been seized today, or the person that sponsored him. Or the group, the Boko Haram, the people that are sponsoring Boko Haram, they've not been captured today.
Do you want me to surprise you about Sagi? Yeah? Kabiru Shokoto is suing Nigeria now for illegal detention, for illegal arrest.
Of course, they will pay
because
him.
Buhari released him.
Yeah.
Okay. So far, so good. They have released over 5,000 repentant terrorists in Nigeria.
He did not just release them. A whole lot of them have been recruited into the Nigerian army and Nigerian police.
Okay. And the shame about this is this. They say those who fail to learn from history are bound to repeat them.
Same mistakes, yeah.
It is Buhari, only Buhari in the history of Nigeria, the military coup and all of that. It is only Buhari in the history of Nigeria that, that dethroned, overthrew a democratically elected government. There is no one else in history. It was meant to be in jail. It was meant to die in jail. But because Nigeria rewards bad behavior, you get rewarded. After 1985, when it got deposed off, right, by Babangida, and for the first time, and the only time until now, that Nigeria went into forced recession was in 1985, when the economic somersaulted, where the price of crude oil at the time pummeled and all that, right? They couldn't kick the economy. The corruption was monumental. People were piling, they were packing money from CP, they were printing money for them to print out. Why the entire country was going through the hell unleashed by Buhari until Babangida came. Abacha came, made democracy a dream that will never happen, a mirage.
Yeah.
Who were those who were working with Abacha?
Buhari.
Who were those who were going after the activists at the time? Ahmadu Ali. Gambari, the current chief of staff to Buhari. 30 years after Buhari overthrew a democratically elected government, it was rewarded.
It was compensated with presidency. A civilian
in a democracy. They came out and they said he's a repentant Democrat or a repentant dictator. Those who sowed the lie then, they are now enjoying the fruit of that, by the way, because everyone is suffering it. A system has taken over in Nigeria, a system of incompetence. We can sit down here and say our government in Nigeria or the regime of Buhari has turned to a dictatorship, but it was what Nigerians wanted and what they got.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They wanted it, they got it.
Yeah.
But there's something we're also missing out. It is not actually about them being greedy and selfish and with what they're doing. It also has something to do with incompetence too. People tend to ignore that. We tend to blame things on, it's because they are greedy. It's because they are thieves.
Yeah.
Even anything they try to say they want to do, they do them so shabbily. When they design policy, they don't know how to execute them or implement them in a way to the benefit of the people they wrote those policies for. Incompetency. The worst of Nigeria is representing the best of Nigeria. You will only get one result: failure upon failure. there's something there, incompetency too. Apart from their selfishness and greed, these guys are incompetent at anything. Check it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Maigun. Thank you, Comrade Lawson Oluosage. So, an activist, Kenechukwu Okeke, has just filed a lawsuit against 50 people in Nigeria, including Pastor Sam Adegoke, Aisha Yusuf, Folarin Falana, also known as Fowls the bad guy, Davido, Tiwa Savage, and many more. He said the reason why he filed this lawsuit is because during the NSAS protest, he lost a lot of properties. He lost properties due to the looting and everything. And do you think the reason why he filed the lawsuit was because he lost his property, or there's another motive behind that, Maigo? Sorry.
Well, Kenechukwu Okeke
Yeah.
wanted attention and is getting it.
Okay.
His case, he has no case, just like any other thing that the government is also trying to do. But Nigeria is a place that the more you look, the less you see. When they say the more you look, the less you see, sometimes the masquerade that is dancing so tirelessly in the public square, if you pay attention very well, the drama probably is somewhere else too. But if you pay attention, we likely if you pay close attention, you will likely hear the sound where the drama beater is coming from. Nigeria is so messed up that Kenneth, who should have sued the government, Kenneth was alive when NSAS protest lasted.
Kenechukwu Okeke. Yeah.
I prefer to call him Ken, but that would probably make him look like a responsible person, but he's a criminal, okay? So Nigeria, Okeke saw the peaceful protest for days. We all saw it. Okeke saw how the government and other politicians, agents of government, mobilized thugs in Abuja, in Lagos, in Oshobo, everywhere. We all saw that. Kenechukwu Okeke happened to be, he claimed to be an activist.
Yeah.
Until now, nobody knows him. Okay. We call the likes of him cash activist. The people that only do it for what
money.
they will come back, because
for profit.
He should be suing the government
and not
for not protecting the lives and properties.
Yeah.
Protest is a legal thing. You have the right to protest peacefully.
Yeah.
Nobody should shoot at you.
Yeah.
Your life shouldn't be in danger, right? If you then do anything out of ordinary during the protest, the law will still take its course. If you are an assassin during protest, you will be arrested. You will be prosecuted based on that thing you've done, not because you protested. Okeke knows that, but he also knows Nigeria. He is a smart con artist that is about to burn himself, because immediately he came out to attack the wrong people. Yeah. You can see it is like a trend. Okay, attack the victim, right, and defend the real killer, the real people who committed the crime. And if you have noticed, it's like a trend. Everyone is blaming the NSAS protest and the protesters for all that happened, even though they were all alive when the whole thing escalated. And how the NSAS protesters decided that, okay, we're going to leave the streets for you. And they left the streets since then, from 23rd of October, from 21st of October, they left the streets immediately after the Lekki killing. They said everybody should stay away. It's no longer safe. The facts are there. But the likes of Okeke knows that they will call him. If he gets a court judgment that says all the people who are, the 50 people they sued, all they need is just one court judgment, just one court order, right? People who will not take him serious are going to regret it. You know what's going to happen? They're going to get a judge that's going to give him a verdict or something that will mandate all of them to appear in court.
Right.
Okay? So that court is going to award him a sort of a judgment that will say, if those people don't pay that, you see, we're all talking about it now, it's looking like a joke, right? It's not. He knows what he's doing. So once you get that judgment, now everybody on that list will have to find a way to break themselves out of that list. Now, say you that you have to attend on how to get yourself out of a list that says you have committed a crime, you owe a fine. They may come and say, okay, they award the penalty of 1 billion to all the 50 of them to pay to OKK. People will laugh until they begin to pick them up. Until many of you are no longer able to go to work. Until you, artists, you are unable to go anywhere to do anything. Sure, you will not go back to that court and say, okay, I'm here. What should I do? It is just to destabilize everybody.
Everyone.
When you are going through that, you will get time to go and protest again.
No.
When they freeze your account and you are unable to make withdrawal, if they call you for protest again, like even if you can manage for some time, it will get to some point that you will know money that's supposed to come into your account won't come in. Those of you who have private businesses that you run, apart from all these things, they will disturb and destabilize your life. And they will use the legal way as well. Yeah. So by the time everybody is running from one court to the other, when they say NSAS, you will just make sure say and tell them, say, I bet, don't ever call me again in your life.
Yeah,
You know
so you have something to say.
I think the biggest problem is Nigeria today. It's I think we're suffering from something the psychologists call Stockholm syndrome. Okay, Stockholm syndrome is a disease where the captor is falling in love with the person that captured you. Okay, you are in prison. You are being kept in a place. They give you
captive loving their captor.
Yeah, of course, the captive
slave loving their master.
The slave loving their master. That's the problem we have in Nigeria, because in Nigeria today the people, according to what he said, this guy Kenneth or whatever his name is should be suing the government who, out of negligence, allowed the police, the Nigerian police or SARS in the first place, to kill innocent Nigerians without anything, without trial.
Right.
Okay? As a human, you have the right to live. You have the right to your life. That's the first right any human have. And as a government, you have the right, the responsibility to protect my life. That's what makes you a government. My life and my property, those are the first responsibility of every government to protect. So the irresponsibility of the government was what led to youth coming to the government to say, please end this SARS so they can stop killing us. Okay? And if you watch out the trend of this protest, it lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About the 6th or 7th day, or from the 5th day, we started seeing jeeps.
Yeah.
Unnumbered jeeps with no number,
no plate,
which is normally used by the SSS or DSS or whatever they want to call their names. They started using it all around Abuja to drop towels. That was where the mayhem started. Nigerians were protesting with rights. They were going everywhere asking for their right. Government, stop these people. We don't want these people on the streets because they are killing. How can the government, be paying your salary and you're killing citizens? You just capture somebody, not even capture, you just stop somebody, ask him about his phone. This phone I'm using now, if I use this in Nigeria, I become a Yahoo boy.
Yeah.
Okay? I become a Yahoo boy. This is the same phone, if not bigger than this one that my son uses. Yeah. My 18-year-old son uses something bigger than this one. He's never worked in his life. He's a student, I bought it for him. But if he goes on holiday in Nigeria, I will have to buy him a 3310.
A smaller one, yeah.
3310, not a smaller one. 3310 where we have no access to internet, so that somebody will not call him a Yahoo boy. Because I want him to come back to his education with his life. I don't want him for the government to waste him because he's going to visit Nigeria. Okay, so Kenneth should be suing the government for their negligence, for their inability to protect lives and properties of Nigerians. Not suing Nigerians who are coming to ask the government that please protect us. That's what the protest was about. Yeah. It was a demand. They were not destroying anything. It was the government who were dropping those people all around the streets, and it was those touts the government brought into the protests that started destroying. At the point in time, if you watch the trend in Abuja very well, they started, I mean, some people started coming on the street with sticks to hit the protesters. Then at the point in time, they set fire on a number of cars.
Yeah, we also the
In
video.
Abuja. Go check it on the internet. Everything is there. So why are they pretending like they don't know? We live in a global world just now that everything you do just now, what this very interview we're having just now, could be viewed by the president.
Yeah.
Every single word I say can be zoomed into and checked if there's any false accusation there. Okay? And you find every evidence online.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for any Ken, if he knows is, I mean, Alan is a lawyer.
Yeah, yes.
Even though in his days in school, Alan he stole a phone. Okay, so I mean, he stole a phone. So I don't know if that is true or not. Allegedly, he is a thief as well. Allegedly, he stole a phone somewhere. But these people who are protesting or who were protesting are not thieves. They are citizens requesting for their rights.
Yeah.
Okay, so he should direct his anger or his frustration somewhere else. But of course, as we know in Nigeria, I mean, he might not be doing this. The drummer boy might be sitting in the corner and he's just dancing to the tune.
Probably. Thank you very much. That is a lot of explanation right there from Mayegun and Comrade Lawson Oluosage. I remain your host on Explain This. My name is Zainab. See you next time.